66 million years ago, Earth was a world ruled by giants, the late Cretaceous period. This was a time when the planet looked vastly different from today, with no sign of humans or the familiar animals we know. Instead, the land was dominated by colossal reptiles and the air was thick with the calls of creatures long vanished from our world. The continents drifted slowly across the globe, shaping new coastlines and mountain ranges. The climate was warm and humid, creating vast stretches of lush forests and dense jungles. These ancient woodlands teemed with life, from towering ferns and cycads to vibrant flowering plants just beginning to spread across the land. Dinosaurs dominated every corner of this world. Herds of triceratops grazed peacefully in open clearings, their massive frills and horns a defense against lurking predators. Above the treetops, pterosaurs soared effortlessly, their wings casting shadows over the land as they searched for food. On the ground, armored ankylosaurus lumbered through the undergrowth, their bodies protected by thick plates and clubbed tails, like living tanks. Hadrosaurs, with their duck-billed snouts, roamed the open plains in large groups, communicating with haunting calls. In the shadows, the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex stalked its prey, the undisputed apex predator of its time, its powerful jaws and keen senses making it a formidable hunter. In the vast oceans, mosasaurs hunted relentlessly, gliding through the water with terrifying speed. They shared these ancient seas with ammonites, whose spiral shells dotted the ocean floor, and other marine reptiles that ruled beneath the waves, creating a thriving underwater ecosystem as diverse as the land above. Beneath the feet of giants, smaller creatures eked out a living. The first mammals, tiny and shrew-like, scurried in the undergrowth, mostly at night, to avoid the ever-present threat of predators. These early mammals were survivors, adapting to a world where danger lurked at every turn. Birds, descended from small feathered dinosaurs, took to the skies, while lizards and snakes slithered through the leaf litter. Crocodiles basked by ancient riverbanks, unchanged for millions of years, each species carving out its own niche in this vibrant, reptile-ruled world. Life had achieved a delicate balance, a complex web of predator and prey, plant and animal, that had lasted for millions of years. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest dinosaur, played a role in this ancient ecosystem, contributing to the stability of a world that seemed eternal. But this ancient world was oblivious to the disaster racing toward it from the depths of space. The creatures of the Cretaceous went about their lives, unaware that their reign was about to end in a single catastrophic moment. The final day of the dinosaurs had arrived, unseen, unstoppable. The skies grew eerily still, and the world held its breath, on the brink of unimaginable change. Everything was about to change in an instant, as the fate of life on Earth hung in the balance. Far above, a massive asteroid, 10 kilometers wide, hurtled toward Earth at unimaginable speed. For eons, it wandered the solar system, now locked on a collision course with our planet. As it entered the atmosphere, it blazed brighter than the sun, a fiery omen in the sky. Its target, a shallow sea near today's Yucatan Peninsula. The air ahead superheated, forming a shockwave of raw power. In seconds, the asteroid struck with a blinding flash. No warning, no escape. The energy release dwarfed 1 billion atomic bombs. In that moment, the fate of the dinosaurs, and life on Earth, was sealed. The impact vaporized sea and crust, unleashing a blinding flash and a wave of heat. The Chicxulub crater formed, 180 kilometers wide, 20 deep, etched into the planet. Shockwaves triggered earthquakes beyond anything in human history. A furnace-like blast incinerated everything for hundreds of kilometers. A colossal tsunami raced outward, obliterating coastlines. Trillions of tons of debris shot into the sky, some even escaping into space. Superheated spherules rained back down, igniting the atmosphere. The sky filled with shooting stars, embers of destruction. The world was about to be set ablaze. As spherules rained down, the air superheated, igniting global firestorms. Forests and plains erupted in flames, smoke and ash choking the sky. Surviving animals faced a burning, suffocating world. No shelter, no escape. The roar of fire, earthquakes, and hurricane winds filled the air. The lush, Cretaceous landscape became a vision of hell in mere hours. Tsunamis devastated distant shores, destruction spreading worldwide. The planet was assaulted from every direction: fire, water, wind, and falling rock. For the dinosaurs, there was nowhere left to run. The day the dinosaurs died was a day of unparalleled violence. The world was transformed in a single, relentless onslaught. The true extinction had only just begun. After the fires, a new threat emerged: darkness. Soot and dust from the impact and fires spread high into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight. Days turned to months of twilight. Photosynthesis halted, plants withered, and oceans lost their phytoplankton. The food web collapsed as the world turned cold and gray. Temperatures plummeted. An impact winter gripped the planet. Acid rain fell, coating the land in toxic sludge. Silence replaced the vibrant sounds of the Cretaceous. The air was thick with dust, hard to breathe. For survivors, the darkness and cold were as deadly as the impact itself. Life faced a new, relentless challenge: a world without light or warmth. The great dying had truly begun. With plants and plankton gone, the food chain collapsed. The world was plunged into a darkness that choked out life at its very roots. Sunlight, once the engine of growth, was blocked by thick clouds of dust and ash, leaving the land cold and barren. The lush forests and vibrant plains that had teemed with life were now silent, stripped of their green cover and left eerily empty. Herbivorous dinosaurs like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus starved in the darkness. With nothing left to graze on, their massive herds dwindled rapidly. The once mighty giants who had roamed the earth for millions of years became weak and desperate, searching in vain for food that would never return. Carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex soon followed, with no prey left to hunt. The predators, once rulers of their domain, found themselves wandering through wastelands, their strength fading as hunger gnawed at them. Even the fiercest hunters could not escape the fate that awaited all. Scavenging only delayed the inevitable. Starvation claimed even the mightiest. The land was littered with the remains of those who had fallen, their bones bleaching under a sunless sky. The struggle for survival became a losing battle, as every last scrap of nourishment disappeared. In the oceans, the loss of phytoplankton triggered a chain reaction. Zooplankton, fish, and marine reptiles perished. The once bustling seas, filled with life and color, turned into vast, empty graveyards. Coral reefs crumbled, and the great marine predators vanished, leaving only silence beneath the waves. The seas became graveyards, the land a silent wasteland. Everywhere the evidence of extinction was clear: lifeless bodies, empty habitats, and a world stripped of its former glory. Extinction was slow and merciless, unfolding over months and years. The process was not a single event, but a drawn-out tragedy, as species after species faded away, unable to adapt to the new, harsh reality. 75% of all species vanished. The diversity of life, painstakingly built over millions of years, was wiped out in a geological instant. Large animals with big appetites and slow reproduction suffered most. Their size, once an advantage, became a curse in a world with nothing left to eat. The age of giants ended not with a bang, but with a long, cold silence. The echoes of their footsteps faded, leaving only emptiness behind. The reign of the dinosaurs, over 150 million years, was over. Their bones became the only testimony to their once great empire, buried in layers of rock and ash. Only the small and adaptable would survive. Creatures that could hide, hibernate, or eat almost anything found ways to endure the darkness and cold. The world was ready for something new. From the ashes of extinction, life would eventually return, changed forever by the catastrophe that ended the age of dinosaurs. Yet, life endured. Small, adaptable creatures, burrowing mammals, lizards, snakes, found shelter underground. They survived the heat, fires, and freezing cold by hiding and eating what little remained: insects, roots, fungi. In rivers and lakes, crocodiles and turtles persisted, needing less food and energy. Among dinosaurs, only birds survived, descendants of small ground-dwelling species. Seeds buried in soil provided food for birds and mammals until sunlight returned. The survivors were generalists, able to make do with the scraps of a ruined world. Insects, amphibians, fish, and our own mammalian ancestors clung to life. These hardy few became the seeds of a new world. Life's resilience would soon spark a new evolutionary chapter. As the dust settled and sunlight returned to the battered Earth, the world began a slow and remarkable process of healing. The devastation left behind by the asteroid impact was immense, but life, as it always does, found a way to persist and adapt. Hardy plants like ferns and mosses were among the first to reclaim the barren land, spreading across the scorched Earth and restoring a vibrant green to the landscape. Their resilience paved the way for the return of more complex life forms. Insects, too, multiplied rapidly, thriving in the new growth and providing a crucial food source for the small survivors that hid in the shadows. These tiny creatures became the foundation of a new food web. The extinction of the dinosaurs left behind an empty stage, an unprecedented opportunity for mammals who had long lived in the shadows of giants. Once small, nocturnal, and timid, mammals now began to diversify and thrive. With the dominant reptiles gone, they could finally emerge into the daylight and explore new ways of living. Over time, mammals grew larger, adapted to new diets, and filled ecological roles left vacant by the vanished dinosaurs. Some became plant-eaters, while others evolved to hunt and scavenge. Some returned to the water, developing new skills for swimming and fishing. Others took to the trees, learning to climb and leap, while a few became the new predators of the forests and plains. This was the dawn of the Cenozoic era, the age of mammals. The world was transforming, and life was more diverse and vibrant than ever before. Over millions of years, mammals evolved into an astonishing variety of forms. From the giants of the land and sea, like elephants and whales, to the nimble bats of the night sky and the clever primates of the trees. The tiny, resilient creatures that survived the apocalypse inherited the Earth, shaping the future of life on our planet. Their rise was a direct result of the asteroid's devastation, a testament to the power of adaptation and survival in the face of catastrophe. From the ashes of destruction, a new world order emerged, and the age of mammals began its extraordinary reign. The day the dinosaurs died is also the story of our own beginnings. The rise of mammals, and eventually primates, was only possible because of the extinction event. Early primates evolved in the new forests, leading to monkeys, apes, and ultimately, humans. Our existence is tied to that ancient catastrophe. The Chicxulub impact reminds us that life is fragile, and change can come in an instant. The asteroid's legacy is both loss and opportunity. It destroyed a world, but made room for another. From disaster came renewal, and from extinction, evolution. Without that terrible day, humanity would never have emerged. In a very real sense, we are the children of the asteroid.